Namaskar, good evening. I, ICMAI Tanuja Mantravadi, on behalf of Pune chapter of Institute of Cost Accountants of India and Cosmos Bank Limited, welcome you all. Before we start our program, we request all of you to stand up for a moment of silence in the memory of legendary late Ratan Tata sir. I request all the dignitaries on the dais, CA Milian Kare sir, Mrs. Gibson, Amit Apte sir, Chaitanya Mori sir, Neeraj Joshi sir, Neeraj sir, Himanshu sir. As you all know, banking, financial services and insurance is one of the upcoming area of professional opportunities. The Cosmos Bank Limited and Pune chapter have jointly organized this joint knowledge sharing session. So, we'll start the session with lighting up the lamp. I request all the dignitaries to please go ahead. We are going to start our institute's anthem, so I request all to stand up for a while.
Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurmamritam gamaya ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurmamritam gamaya asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityurmamritam gamaya. Om Shanti.
Now I request Pune chapter secretary CMA Rahul Chinsolkar sir to felicitate Chairman of Cosmos Cooperative Bank Limited CA Milian Kare sir. CA Milian Kare sir has completed his schooling at the renowned school Jnana Prabodhini and college education at Neswadia College. He has started his chartered accounting practice in 1983 and he has taken forward a legacy of 3 generations of entrepreneurship. Kade family was into numerous businesses at that time. Through those businesses, he got opportunity to work extensively in the field of finance. The main reason for this was his educational qualification and expertise in the field of finance and economy. Thus, he is on the board of directors of Cosmos Bank for 25 long years, since 1999, and chairman from 2015 onwards. Under absolute adverse condition, he has completed 5 professional courses in chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, business administration, MBA, finance, journalism within a very short time span, displaying his extraordinary income. Thank you, sir. Now I request CMA Amay Tikle sir to felicitate MD of Cosmos Bank Limited, Mrs. Apekshita Tipse. I request Director of Cosmos Bank Limited, Jayant Barve sir to CMA Amitabh sir, over the 20 years of post-qualification experience in the field of costing, MIS, finance and accounts in ERP system implementation. He is a past president of Institute of Cost Accounting of India. He was the chairman of WRC of ICMAI. He is a director of Livare Consultants Private Limited, partner with Joshi Apte Associates. Welcome, sir. Now I request Director Praveen Kumar Gandhi sir to felicitate our Central Council member Neeraj Joshi sir. Neeraj Joshi sir is a fellow member of our institute. He is currently Central Council member of our institute. He is a research scholar pursuing PhD in Shivaji International University. He is the second rank holder of University of Pune in MBA examination. Welcome you, sir. Now I request R.T. Dhole ma'am to felicitate our treasurer and past chairman of WRC, Chaitanya Modi sir. Now I request Vice Chairman of Cosmos Bank Limited, CA Yashwanta Kasar sir, to felicitate our Chairman of Pune Chapter of Institute of Cost Accountant, Nilesh Kekant sir. I again request Joint Managing Director of R.T. Dhole ma'am to felicitate Treasurer of Pune Chapter, Himanshu Dave sir. Now I request CA Milind Kade sir to address the gathering.
Namaskar. I am today immensely happy to read the last line what is displayed over here. Behind every successful business decision, there is always a CMA. This is not just to read, but I'll share the experience of the Cosmos Bank. Cosmos has started growing since 1990. It is the era when whole of the Indian economy start changing. Actually, it is founded in 1906, 118 years old, rather oldest, the first oldest institution in financial era. That was initially credit cooperative leagues of Lokmanya Tilak. But it actually started growing when our institute, because I am also a cost and works accountant, so I have passed my degree in 1984. So that was that time our president, Pramod Parki, PD Parki, well-known cost accountant from Pune. He was a leader in our board who changed the working operation style, agenda, object and systems of the Cosmos Bank. And we should be proud of it. I was just referring about this, what he started, what change he brought in Cosmos. Cosmos was earlier a credit cooperative society or a small bank till then 1990 to mobilize the surplus money with the members and for distributing the needy person only. We do not have any credit exposure, so-called what it is having a value as of now. But that time, our institute president Pramod Parki started the industrial advances for the first time in the cooperative sector, and that too in Cosmos in 1990, because of which Cosmos is what it is. Cosmos is second largest cooperative bank in India. That is 35,000 plus setup, 35,000 plus crore setup of deposits and advances mixed together. We are spread in 7 states. Our senior staff, whom I will just request at the end of this session to come on the dais for a joint photograph with our other professional colleagues. They have taken this institute to this height. The real fact is, out of my top 50 officers, hardly 2 or 3 are chartered accountants, and majority of them are cost accountant, or sufficiently or majority of them are cost accountant. This is because the need of the bank at a growing stage was correct assessment, not only the financial assessment, but the correct assessment about the industry and the cost aspect of it while running the organization or growing the organization. This is what in our beloved Professor PD Parki sir has given us. He has only brought me into this institution, rather he introduced me to Cosmos, and I am following whatever the steps that he has done. All automation, also credit goes to him, because for the first time in 2001, when none of the credit cooperative society or bank was having a Finacle as a centralized banking solution of the Infosys, we were the first in the cooperative banking sector and 5th among the banking industry in India. Only 2 nationalized banks and 2 private sector banks were there, those who were using the Finacle, which is only an accepted or largely accepted centralized banking solution in Indian banking industry now. That was his vision. Therefore, I, with this word, with due respect to all the cost accountant present over here, the dignitaries on the dais, and I am feeling very proud that I am one of you, and I have hardly attended any program of the branch, though it was repeatedly they suggested, requested me to the seniors in the profession, but because of my engagement with the bank, I could not do it. But now we are here again today to reiterate that, and that too with Cosmos. I expect today's session will enlighten this more, because you are all from the profession, to meet the expectation of the bank as well as the professionals present over here. You will guide, and so that we also henceafter will take more precaution even in the recruitment process also. Whatever you can suggest will be there, because our experience, considering the top brass involved over here and what results that they have done to the Cosmos, will be having a long-term relation with the CMA. Thank you.
I request Director of Cosmos Bank Limited, Praveen Kumar Gandhi sir, to felicitate the committee member of Pune chapter. Now I
आपटे सर, प्रोफेसर नंदकुमार गांधी सर, मिस्टर मिलिंद पोकळे सर, मिस्टर रोहित जोशी सर, मिसेस आरती धोरे मैडम, जॉइंट मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर, all the esteemed guests present today, on behalf of ICMAI Pune chapter and Cosmos Bank, I welcome you all for the today's session on role and opportunities for cost accountant or other CMA in banking sector. I would like to thank the board members for the art auditorium, newly inaugurated by the bank. The intention of the bank is behind conducting this seminar is that there are various opportunities available for the cost accountant in the banking sector. So the board requested us to conduct the seminar on the particular area, on the particular subject. Dear sir, CMAs are recognized by various banks for concurrent audit, stock audit, and various certification work. Our institute, that is Banking, Financial Service and Insurance Board, has designed a special certificate course on concurrent audit of bank, credit management in bank, treasury and international banking, investment management and general insurance. Also, there is diploma in financial modeling and valuation, in which there are areas such as financial statement analysis, project finance, merger acquisition and valuation, investment banking and equity valuation, etc. Sir, the institute is conducting campus twice a year. So, as discussed earlier, we request you to please participate in the campus placement. And we are also looking forward for giving our best of professional services to the bank as and when required. I once again thank everyone and I wish a grand success for the program. Thank you everyone.
thank you, Nilesh sir. Now I request CMA Chaitanya Morir sir, Treasurer of WFC, to address the gathering.
Good evening, respected dignitaries on the dais. CMA Amit Apte sir, past president of our institute, CMA Neeraj Joshi, Central Council member, CMA Nilesh Kekan, Pune chapter chairman, CMA Himanshu Dave, treasurer of Pune chapter, and respected dignitaries of the dais. First of all, I would like to congratulate Pune chapter and Cosmos Bank for organizing such event. At WRC level or at chapter level, we discussed many times that we should have such kind of event, but finally we are here, sir. We are having this event with Cosmos Bank. As said by Neeraj, we are conducting campus twice a year, and recently, just this month only, 30th of September and 1st of October, we had a campus of CMA Institute we had a campus, and where 12 students or 12 fresh cost accountants are placed in different banks. So one of the bank selected 10 and two are still waiting. So a lot of cost accountants are working in bank, and Kyle sir was saying that I think 40 odd cost accountants are still working in Cosmos Bank. So that's a good number. So the number of cost accountants working in different banks and our banking sector is increasing. So considering this, our institute has formed a board, Banking, Financial Services and Insurance Board. And Nilesh has said a lot of programs are taken by that board. But last year, there was a bank's credit appraisal and monitoring framework is designed by this board. And Neeraj was one of the key member of that board. He has given a lot of inputs. So I saw that document. I was present where we have given this document to few of the banks. We visited MDs of the bank and we presented that document, and the document is very much appreciated by the bank. In this document, basically, when the banks are giving loan, so we have created 4 or 5 simple formats where we will check after giving the loan every year. Once the loan is given to the big organization, so nowadays NPAs are increasing, but once you give the loan, so regularly feedback mechanism is there or not. So that is mentioned in that document. Feedback and so operating ratios, what is the capacity utilization, what is the cost of utility, what is the material cost they are using. So very simple 4 or 5 formats are given, and Neeraj is key contributor for that credit appraisal mechanism. So Neeraj, I request that we can submit this to KSR also, that document. I think we have not submitted to Cosmos Bank. So we will definitely submit, and we are working on different ideas. Our chairman of board, Chittaranjan Chattopadhyay, is taking a lot of efforts. He is a passionate banker for that. So I hope that the document which we'll be sharing, that will be helpful, as well as I will not take much time because we are very much eager to discuss. We are very much eager to listen our panelists. So I will not take much of your time. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya sir. Now I request our Central Council member Neeraj Joshi sir to address the gathering.
Good evening, everybody. Respected Milind Kale sir, Kipse madam, past president Amit Apte sir, Chaitanya, Nilesh, Himanshu, my colleagues in the Pune chapter, all the respected directors of Cosmos Bank, and my colleagues from the profession. I am very much happy to be here to address all of you, and I really appreciate this unique initiative by Cosmos Bank and Pune chapter for organizing such kind of an event for the professionals, where there can be an interaction between the banking fraternity and the CMA professionals, so that it can be mutually beneficial for both the parties. And before I start, I would like to congratulate the team of Cosmos Bank for getting the best bank award in the cooperative sector for 23-24. So it's a real proud moment for all of us, because by association of our professionals with your bank, we also feel that we are having a little contribution. The profession, not we per se, but the profession has had little contribution in that success, and we are really proud of that. It will not take much of time. Just would like to brief all of you on the various initiatives that the council has been taking in the domain of the BFSI or the banking, particularly the banking sector. And Chaitanya has already said that we have developed a kind of formats which we are trying to go and introduce in the banks, where our professionals can help the banks to assess the credit process, or on one-time basis or as a routine. Because currently what we feel that the financial information that is flowing to the banks may not be sufficient. So maybe certain operational level report or certain micro level analysis can be helpful to the banks to understand whether the loans that have been forwarded are yielding the correct result for the organization, or there is a likelihood that the organization will land into trouble. So we can definitely have this kind of a program for the bank officers or executives from our side. So as per the convenience of the bank officials, we would be interested to come and address the bank officials. So we can definitely look forward for that program. When we are approaching the banks, we are now also focusing on developing the back-end process at the institute. So we have introduced already a system of peer review. We have already introduced a system of multi-purpose empanelment, which is mainly some kind of requirement or kind of a process that has been followed by various professional bodies. So we are meeting those kind of requirements which are there from many of the banks, the USIN number, the UDIN number, which are required for various types of certifications when we work into actual certification kind of a role. So all that things has been done by the institute so that we can facilitate our members as well as the banks. Particularly focusing on today's event, I am really happy to see my colleagues in profession joining us, because we want to have a close interaction with the professionals as well as the banks to understand exactly what is the value proposition that we as cost accountants bring to the table, so that we can add value to the entire banking ecosystem. As already explained, that we have a lot of members who are there in the bank, but there are not many youngsters who are also eager to join the banking sector, and we will be very much happy if you can participate in our campus placement drives. The articleship training that we is now mandated to cost accountants, 15 months of training, that they can conduct anywhere. So 15 months there is no restriction. So you can have access to a big pool of youngsters who have qualified inter-examination and who has to mandatorily undertake 15 months of training. So they can join you as industry trainees also, and they can, if you find them good, they can continue in the bank. So that can be a very good win-win situation for both of us. I will end with a small announcement that the Institute's BFSI committee, we are organizing our national seminar for banking and insurance sector on 22nd and 23rd of November. So it is basically for the people working in banks and insurance sector. It's not for the members. So there we will be deliberating what value proposition the CMA fraternity brings for the banks or for the insurance companies, how we can help you. And that is how the lectures will be designed for 2 days. It will be in Mumbai, and it will be by invitation. So we are requesting banks to nominate, say, 3 to 4 of their officers or executives to come and attend that program. It will be a free event from the institute side. So I request the Cosmos Bank management also that if you can nominate 3 to 4 people to join us in that program, that would be a great opportunity. With this, I would close my deliberations for now. Because we are waiting for our speakers to discuss much more on various topics. And I once again thank Cosmos Bank for giving us an opportunity to be associated with you. And we hope that this association continues henceforth. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our past President CMA Amit Apte sir to address the gathering.
Thank you, Tanika. CA and CMA Milind Kaya sir, Apekshita Tipse Madam, Managing Director, Neeraj Joshi, the Central Council member of our institute, Yashwant Kasar, Vice Chairman, the entire board members, and senior management team members of Cosmos, the management committee members of the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and my fellow cost accountant friends. First of all, a huge congratulations to Cosmos Bank on 2 counts. One was already covered by Neeraj, that you have got the best cooperative bank award for the year 23-24. And for creating this kind of a beautiful infrastructure which can be utilized for a lot of value-added programs, specifically on the banking sector and the cooperative sector. I was on the council for 8 years, and during my tenure, I had the opportunity to visit a lot of banks this kind of setup, there are very good boardrooms, by the way, in all the banks. But this kind of setup, which is specifically for training and for live interaction, is something which is not very common. It is quite rare, and that is why I must congratulate you for creating this kind of a setup. So I would not like to repeat what my earlier speakers have already said. I will just touch upon one single point. I was a member of the Independent Evaluation Committee under the RBI's framework for revitalizing the distressed assets. This was before the insolvency code came in. And I had the opportunity to attend the meetings of as many as 9 various cases, which were all at the bankruptcy stage. And barring 2 cases wherein it was a case of the management's ill intent to defraud the overall banking system, rest of the 7 cases were primarily in that kind of a situation, in a distressful situation, only on one major count, that was mismanagement of the overall costs and the control over their operations and the control over the cost. Had they done that, possibly they would not have reached that stage. So cost management and cost control is definitely a very important topic for all the businesses, may it be manufacturing or services. And Kayasar in his speech mentioned Institute of Cost and Works Accountants of India. So that has been our identity for a long, long time. And the cost accounting fraternity have been associated with the term works till 2012, when we were able to rename our institute and also introduce the word CMA before our names. And after that, over the last 10-12 years, we have succeeded in making a lot of inroads in the service sector as well, and of course the banking industry as well. Of course, there is a long way to go, but based on my experience, especially in the as an independent evaluation committee member, I would specifically mention 5 or 4 areas wherein banks can utilize our services. One, of course, is the inventory audits, but I would not restrict to the typical inventory audit that is normally done. The essence lies in the value of that inventory, and wherever there are adjustments, it happens in the valuation rather than the overall inventory physical count per se. And that is where cost accountant services can definitely be utilized. Number 2 is the techno-financial viability of the business, wherein we have about 17, I do not know the latest count, but when I was the president in 1819, there were as many as 17% members who were engineers as well. So something as the techno-financial viability studies for projects where especially the exposure of banks is on a high level can be taken up by cost accountants, either who are engineers themselves or with the help of engineers can be taken. Overall credit appraisal is one area which wherein we can definitely add value apart from the various certifications. And of course, banking sector is these days coming up as an employment avenue as well, and our members have slowly but steadily started looking at banks for employment opportunities. So with this, I conclude my talk, and I once again congratulate the bank and Pune chapter for organizing this joint program. Thank you.
Sir, now without wasting much time, I hand over to CMA Amir Dikre to start with our first technical session.
कॉस्ट अकाउंटंट प्रेसिडेंट जे आपल्या त्यांनी एकदा इथे एक फोटो घेऊ आपण सगळे एकत्र आणि मग पुढचा कार्यक्रम चालू करू पटकन.
शूट झालं की मला फोटो ठीक आहे. रुपेश तो LED ने जरा ब्राईटनेस कमी करायचं मागचा LEDचा जा लवकर. सर फोटो घ्या फोटो घ्या. थांबा तसंच थांबा समोर. ओके जाऊ दे. थँक्यू सर.
Before starting the first technical session, we had just forgot to take a name of one of the dignitaries who is here among us, Mr. Garpuri sir. For many of us, he is a sir to us, and he is not only a CMA, he is CA, CMA, a well-known personality from Pune. Thank you. So again, without wasting our time, we will be starting our first technical session. So this whole seminar will be based on the two technical sessions. One will be where we will be discussing the role and opportunities for CMAs in the banking sector, and then the second technical session will be a panel discussion where there will be which will be a basically interactive session with the panelists. So for the first technical session, we have a speaker, Mr. Keshav Takar sir. May I request him to please come on the dais. Thank you, sir. Let me introduce Mr. Takar sir first. Sir is having the below qualifications. Basically, he is a diploma in mechanical engineering. Then he is also a member of Institute of Engineers, which is actually equivalent to the qualification to the BE. Then he is also a diploma in a business management, master diploma in business administration, certified associate of Indian Institute of Bankers, associate member of Cost and Management Accountants of India, and fellow member of the Institute of the Valuers. And also, since he has completed many such professions, he is a member of these institutes as well. Considering his employment, like where he has worked, so he has started in 1977 in ERDL, Exposure Research and Development Laboratory, which is a defense organization based in Pune, Pashan, Pune. So he has started his journey from there in 1977 till 1983. In 1983, he has joined the Bank of India. I'm extremely sorry. He has joined the Bank of Maharashtra, and he joined as a technical officer and got retired as a deputy general manager from Bank of Maharashtra. So while he was into the service, he has trained many like us. Considering his qualification, he has given more exposure in the credit appraisals. Subsequently he has posted to the zonal manager in the Akola zone. Then he was posted to the head office, where he has worked in a credit monitoring department for bank as a whole. So he has trained many bankers. While working in a Bank of Maharashtra, he was a trainer at Reserve Bank of India, Mumbai, NIBM, Pune, Noida, New Delhi. In addition to this, he has also given training in the bank's colleges. So while interacting with him, what I come to know, that there are the banking centers. The centers are basically for the staff, and the colleges are for the officers. So most of the training were pertaining to the credit appraisal, credit monitoring, and financial management. So I once again welcome you, sir, on this dais. May I request Mr. Okre, sir, who is a senior director from Cosmos Bank, to felicitate him. Then may I request Barve, sir, to felicitate him. Thank you, sir. Also, may I request Chairman of Pune Chapter to felicitate him from Pune Chapter of Cost Accountants of India. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, we shall begin with the first technical session. Thank you.
Good evening, respected dignitaries, on the dais, off the dais, and my professional colleagues. After working for nearly 3 decades in the bank, now it has still realized for all the banks, forget about my personal bank, that training is essential for all the staff if at all they want to grow. Well, I have seen the developments in the banks also. Rather, we have seen the banking scenario like that, initially with security-oriented approach, after nationalization, purpose-oriented approach. Then after introduction of NPA, again we have gone back to square one. Partially we are going towards security-oriented approach. The reason is very simple. As long as bank was interested in increasing the advances, purpose-oriented banking was going on, everything was very fine. When the Reserve Bank of India, they have introduced various norms, then it has realized the banks that it is not practically possible just to show that this much security is available and account should not turned down as NPA. So now servicing of interest as well as installment is a major condition for this. But again I am going back to square one. Why this has happened? Why account become NPA? Because the appraisal part is lacking over. In the present scenario of banking, I am very blunt on this area. I have seen, because I am giving trainings at various training centers also in my bank also. Very sorry affair that quality of officers is lacking over there as far as credit appraisal is concerned. They do not know even how to deal with the customer. Internal promotion, they are getting grade 1, 2, 3, everything is possible. But when the customer approaches them, it is very sorry affair that they are unable to ask him what is the requirement, how best we can help him out. During one of my training sessions, I have asked this simple question: if the customer has approached you, he has requested you that I want this facility, what you will see, what questions you will ask him. Do you know the balance sheets at least? Smart guy from Bihar, UP, openly told me, sir, for that purpose only we have come for the training. If this is the approach, how you can help the customers? The best thing is that here the professional approach helps us. Because you know bank's products are various available over there. Now, customers' requirement, how we can best fit within the bank's product is more important. But I have observed that nobody is bothering for those areas, honestly. Even as of today, I don't want to quote the names of the bank because I was doing the consultancy also. The approach is like that when the proposal is submitted to them. Because being banker, I know what are the things required to be submitted to the bank. After submission of that, I was shocked to listen, sir, can I do one thing for you? You give me your mail ID. I will send you bank's proposal note format. You give me proposal note readily prepared. This is the fact. I am telling you that unfortunately this is happening in the banking industry. Perhaps top management may be aware or may not be aware. Only canvassing the accounts they are requesting. Managers are going out. They catch hold of the consultants. Now the problem is, mere consultant and the professional approach, it has got a lot of difference. That I have seen personally. Problem is that in the banking industry, if you have the approach to manage the people, the unit will never survive. Because the approach is like that. Sir, kaisa bhi karke karwa ke le lo. Mujhe problem, because he is getting his commission over there. But when you are professional, you should be in a dictating term. I mean it, you should be in a dictating term because you know it, you know your client very well. You have submitted everything, you have prepared as per RBI guideline, whatever CMA format is there that you have prepared. You know how you have done it. You will be in a dictating term to the bank. Again in the bank, another parties. Either they will say flatly, sir, sorry, we cannot do it. Number one. Number two, he will say, sir, prune down the limit. It will be within my limits, within my powers. Otherwise, the proposal will go to higher authorities. It will take some time. And the third and worst part is, sir, accept it, whatever is there. Why you are bothering? Nothing is going to help you. My humble request to all professionals that if you are firm about your projections, whatever you have done, don't succumb to any pressure. If you have insisted that I want 50 lakhs of limit, don't accept 40 lakhs or don't even exceed beyond that. But you should have that ability to convince the authorities how you have done it and how it is possible. And for that purpose, you should know your customer first. You should understand him because he will say anything to you. Are we really doing this exercise? In present system, professionals are also doing these things. I am telling you very openly. They start with the profitability. Then go to the sales. Reason is very simple. If at all they want to avail term loan, they will see that profitability is very good. So there will not be any problem. The problem arises when the bankers ask question whether the sales are possible. In the present scenario, whether it is possible that he will achieve those sales. Only professional can give this answer, because before arriving at that figure, he has done some homework. Present working is like this. Subsequently orders, routine orders, he will go to this extent, and it is possible to achieve the projections. Now the problem arises over here, CMA format, it gives 2 years, last 2 years audited, current year's estimate, next 2 years projections. Now simple formula every professional is applying. I am telling you very clearly, this is the fact. 10%, 15%, 10%, 12% increase they are giving. Have you discussed with the customer? Because when I was in the bank, I have seen that after discussing with the customer, I have realized that the consultant, they have not discussed this matter with the borrower. That is major part. Because when I was asking him how much sales you will do it, he was giving me some else figure. Then being professional, at least you will be in a dictative term. Sir, these sales are possible. First 4 months he has done like this. Remaining 8 months it is 100% possible, and I will monitor this. That is what bank want. Instead of appointing separate credit monitor by the bank, why yourself you are not becoming credit monitor for your customer himself? It will be possible. Bank welcomes always those things, because they also do not want any trouble from that. The problem arises subsequently because each and every point bank is asking you the justification. Why this proposal note format is given by the banker? The reason was very simple. For each and every point, right from sales to profitability, then all the items in the balance sheet, all ratio analysis, cash flow, everywhere they have asked for the justification. Now, if you are unable to give the justification, it is very difficult. But I am sure cost accountants, it is possible for them to give that justification on each and every point. Because I have seen, because I have come across various chartered accountants as well as cost accountants also. And they have done reasonably better for the bank. Even in our bank also, Bank of Maharashtra, last 10 to 15 years, bank has recruited number of cost accountants as well as chartered accountants. Maximum posting is in credit department only. The reason is very simple. If bank has to increase their credit portfolio, credit appraisal should be very strong. Present banking scenario has changed. Every bank requires more rate of interest, more income. Now income criteria are different. Now none of the banks, they are depending on only interest. Other avenues are there, other products are there, other channels are there. They are increasing their income by that way. Now the problem is, every bank, they will not get AAA customer rating customers. Understand one thing very clearly. AAA customer, he will be also in the dictating term. Banks are required to compromise on the rate of interest. Bank guarantee commission, LC commission, everywhere bank has to compromise. The only prestige is that yes, this account is with this bank. That is the criteria. So best way is where you should concentrate as professional. Mid-size corporates, small scale industry. Definitely you will have better opportunities to work. You will get better business also. I am sure about it. And you will be in a position to convince the banks. And credit appraisal will be definitely better than that. Why I am telling you this? My experience I am telling you. I was working as AGM in Pimpri branch, Pune. My advances level was very, very low, and it was a challenge branch given to me. Within span of 3 years, my advances level had gone from 80 crores to 390 crores. The reason was very simple. I was concentrating only on these SME customers. I was personally interviewing them. Because intention is very clear. I want to increase my advances portfolio, but not at the cost of banks' funds. I was convincing them. Then another strategy I adopted was that I have sanctioned you these facilities. Give me one more customer like you. This has helped me to increase the advances also. This strategy will always help. And another important thing is that sanction will be given within 7 working days. If you submit me all the papers, I will ensure that everything will be done within 7 days. It has really helped. Now, this is possible if CMAs are involved over there. Again, I am repeating that. Because you people are in a better position to give entire outlook of the industry as well as particularly for that proposal. Now, simple thing is, bank is also equally interested in profitability. Now, what bank is doing? Bank is looking at only 3 profits. One is operating profit, second one is gross profit, third one is net profit of the customer. Now the problem is, if you analyze it properly as a professional, you realize in some of the balance sheets, there is no operational profit. It looks that there is a profit, but if you detailed analyze it, you will realize that stock level has gone up. Only closing stock, because of closing stock, there appears that profitability is there. For bank, better judge is gross profit, because net profit is also again arrived at after the taxation of all necessary provisions also. Now, how you will judge the growth of the particular industry or particular that account is rather increasing the gross profitability. My dear friend, the problem is that we are not analyzing it properly. Where we say that when credit appraisal part is lacking over there in the bank, they are also doing this monotonous work. Once it has received from the bank branch, they will start processing it. Now at branch level, the problem is he will do only 2 things. Either he will say no, or he will just do postman job, he will forward it to higher authorities. He will not bother to even look at the papers also. So now, as a professional, my personal advice to all of you, that you should insist upon those things. Yes, what is the problem? I want it. I will do it. It is possible for me to do it. You tell me. Because some of the banks, they are openly telling, sir, we don't know how it is to be justified. It is practically difficult for us. We cannot justify it. Now, simple example I am telling you, now being professionals, you will come to know. Customer has requested for the working capital enhancement. Now, as a banker, my concern is whether NWC is available. That is net working capital, that is long-term source. In our technical terms, it will be long-term source minus long-term use. Is your net working capital for your working capital requirement. Another tally is total current asset minus total current liabilities. Now again there is a confusion, even at banks also. They do not understand the concept of NWC and margin. Why I am repeating this thing? Because casually these words are used that NWC shortfall is there. Please understand what is difference between NWC and margin. When you are arriving at NWC, you are considering all total current asset, including cash and bank also. Even current liabilities, you are considering installment falling due within a year. Even with everything, those items are considered in current liabilities. But where is the margin? The margin concept arises when you are submitting your stock and debit statement to the bank. There you will realize that stock plus debtors minus creditors minus 25% margin. Yes, margin is adequately available over there. But this long-term source, we are not looking at it. Customer is requesting for the enhancement in working capital facilities. We agree it. As a professional person, I am requesting you first try to understand why he requires from 50 lakhs to 1 crore or 50 lakhs to 75 lakhs. What is the reason behind it? There is every possibility after detailed discussions with him, he will come out that, sir, I want to pay something to so and so, somebody. It gone up substantially, then you will have some right to say, yes, it is possible for me to increase the sales level with this, then profitability will go up. Then again, my simple question will be, what will be your own stake in the business? Am I going to be totally dependent on profitability? It is practically not possible. Because when you will see the profitability of the company, you will find that profit is good. But if you go to their capital accounts of individuals, you will find that so many funds have been diverted elsewhere. Actual retention of the profit is more concern for the bank. And bank expect that at least 70% you should plow back in the business so that your definitely long-term source will increase. But the problem is with the customer, with the consultant also. They come out with the solution. Sir, there are unsecured loans. Those are only partners and directors' funds only. Have we verified? It is a fact, I am telling you. Because liquidity is unfortunately not available. It is only on paperwork. While getting the sanction from the bank, they are openly telling, sir, unsecured loans, we are not paying any interest. So naturally, as a banker, I will consider that as quasi-equity. But when detailed analysis has been done, then it realizes that he has paid the interest to them. Now I cannot put that term over there, though there is a condition that undertaking should be obtained, that these funds will not be taken out, no interest will be paid. It will be reluctant, it will be redundant, practically. Now the problem arises where, when the account turns bad. I am telling you very, very clearly why there is now reluctancy in banks, with due respect to the chairman, sir. Problem is that now NPAs are increasing in the banks. Forget about NPA. The problem is the accountability. Accountability is more concerned for the officer as well as executive. Because this is not so easy. If account becomes NPA, there will be inquiry. Now inquiry starts right from officer, recommending officer, till executive or executive committee also. For your information, what I have seen that in banking industry, everyone is finding difficult. Rather, there is tendency not to take decision because of this. What you will do at the most, you will transfer me elsewhere. But if at all I will sanction if something goes wrong, what will happen? So risk-taking ability, zero. But I am observing everywhere because last day you are receiving a letter. In our bank, I have seen even our general managers have received the letters on the last day. That during your tenure for last 6 years, you have sanctioned these facilities. During this tenure, it is also observed that these accounts have turned bad. Bank has lost their revenue. So bank has decided to have an inquiry for these accounts. Till satisfactory completion of inquiry, we will not give you your retirement benefits. Now, if this is the scenario, definitely there will be negative mentality. That is happening. But some of them, they are sure, they are still doing it. Because that is other criteria. I want to please my general manager. do it. Even retail loans, gold loan, vehicle loan, at least look at the norms. It is unfortunately happening that at branch level it is not happening. Now where our role plays, be a monitor for those accounts. Take an opportunity. Bank is ready to give such this one opportunities to the professionals also. Definitely bank is giving. Instead of because now simple thing I am telling you. Now bank is giving stock auditors or outsiders. Earlier who was doing this job? This job was done by the bankers only. Bank officer was going over there. He was not doing any audit. Just to see the register. See the sales register, purchase register. How much stock is available? How much it is sold out? How much is not, nothing is available. Now cost accountant, he can do it meticulously because he will understand whether the stock is moving or not moving, how much part is not moving over there, even debtors realization, what is the status, even though the debtors list has been given by the borrower, whether really it is within 3 months or it is exceeding 3 months, that we are not bothering. But professional can give that site over there. But the problem is that it is finding very well to the CM is also over there that they can do better over there. Now here again, in banks also I have seen bank is now actively empaneling for techno-economic viability reports. One person from that group should be at least engineer. That is the only condition over there. Because he will be in a better position to give the technical view on that. That is what bank expect over there. And when you are doing this practice in bank, rather for your customer, it is expected that CMA should do this exercise meticulously and your angle should be there when you are submitting any proposal over there. That we are finding that it is not over there, and that is why CMS will play important role even for every proposal submitted to the bank. Because ratio analysis, ordinary man, he will never be in a position to give the justification. Simple example I am giving you. Current ratio. Current ratio, ideal as per RBI guideline is 1.33, 1.5, everything is there. In some cases it is observed that first year it is 1.34, next year it is 1.45, third year it is 1.68, suddenly it has gone down to 1.44. As a banker, if I do not have any knowledge, I will raise immediate query. Current ratio has gone down. But being professional or practicing CMA, you should be in a position to give the answer why it has reduced. The reason be either he must have acquired fixed assets for which these long-term funds have been utilized for that purpose. Then as practicing CMA, your justification will be very clear. So as long as I am maintaining required margin for working capital, I don't think there will be any problem even though there is reduction in my ratio to 1.43. Now this approach is lacking everywhere. Same is the case for term loan assessment. I am requesting all practicing CMAs, when you are doing any proposal, do it meticulously because even right from cost of project to means of finance, each item is equally important. And what sanction you get, that is altogether different. Because in cost of this one finance, this one project, you are giving that interest during moratorium period to be capitalized. Because he is not in a position to pay during construction period. Now where from that source will come? Because that funds are not available with the borrower. Definitely it will be from the bank. Now bank, without looking at it, they will sanction it, and every now and then they will start asking for the interest. Now interest is capitalized. The lower of interest amount, lower amount, it has to be seen very carefully. What CME borrower will never understand. And it is observed that, unfortunately, those areas are lacking over there. Within 1 year, account becomes NPA. Because now the bankers start asking interest borrow. But at least look at the cost of the project. What has been mentioned over there. As long as I am maintaining my margin, and I have specifically mentioned that interest during construction period to be capitalized. What is the meaning of capitalization? I am telling you, our bank also, due to lack of this knowledge, most of the responsible because he has sanctioned within his powers. Technically, it was not within his powers because after capitalization, amount of loan would have been more. Now, why we are expecting all these things from the professional? Because they will look at it. Okay, what will be the practical implications of it? That practical implications are more important for the borrowers. And if that you understand it very clearly, then it will be very easy for you to do this exercise. I am again repeating because the unfortunate part is nobody is bothering for this area. And credit appraisal is main area where definitely professional practicing CMA will help. And nothing wrong in it. How best you can give. Because now simple thing I am telling you. When you are doing this appraisal, holding level is the major area. Stock, debtors, work in process, finished goods. Now if you have really studied the customers' total cycle, though he is telling that I want to keep 2 months stock, why 2 months stock is required? We should have that approach, that analytical approach is there. That 2 months stock is required because of this. Why not 3 months? In some cases, practically there is no work in process. Material once brought on the shop floor, same day it is taken out. But again it is kept in the finished goods stage. Now it has got cost. But at the cost of what? Now because that finished goods when you are selling, that it is practically all finished goods are at cost of sales. Now you are just adding your profit over there and then you are selling. That is your selling price. Now how long, how much you can keep this finished goods stock? Is it possible for you to carry those stock? Is it bearable for you? Because you have been charged interest by the bank for the credit facilities availed by you. Now if you convince to the customer this much stock is not required, don't do it. Then it is possible that he may get convinced. But there is that fantasy. मैंने सर स्टॉक नहीं रहेगा ना, it will be very difficult. बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाता है. You ask him simple कि बाबा मैं कॉस्ट अकाउंटेंट हूँ, मुझे मालूम है क्या करने का है. Don't teach me कॉस्ट है इसके लिए. Don't do this exercise. Same is the case of debtors. Standard by all the corporate clients, they are giving that we will pay within 90 days. Practically, none of the SME units, they are getting their payment within 90 days. I am telling you, this is a fact. Then the problem arises about the liquidity. Because his debtors are piling up, he is not getting payment within 90 days. Then what will be the role of CMA over here? At least give some thought over there. Can I get some leeway that he can utilize this facility, because if you strictly apply the norms 90 days, perhaps even though the sanction facility and drawing power, he may not utilize it fully. As a CMA, you dictate the term to the bank, sir, this is practically not possible. Can you do at least one favor for us, that allow the drawing power up to 150 days? Then some liquidity will be available. Otherwise, your customer will approach bank every now and then for overdraft. Instead of doing the business, he will be in the bank. Sir, आज एक चेक पास करो, ये दूसरा चेक आ रहा है, आने के बाद नहीं होगा. Liquidity is a major crunch over there. Then your current ratio of 1.4345, it is of no use. What is practical situation, that you will have to look at it. But that is not happening in real sense. Practicing CMA, you have got big role in the banking, credit appraisal, tremendous. You do it. Recently, I was on the interview panel of cost accountants selection. Unfortunately, they were unable to tell anything about the product pricing. I mean, this is basic we expect as a banker. It was asked very simple question. When you would like to enter into the bank, what are the products available in the bank? Can you tell us how this one rate of interest is decided? Even the hints were given. The bank has got some cost of the funds. We are doing some borrowing. We are accepting some deposit. But my dear friends, it is very sorry affair. Freshers, I am telling you very, very openly, don't do it any theoretical work. Try to understand that you learn something more than that. Simply theoretical work formula is not going to help you. Because the panel in the interview, they will not ask you something extraordinary. Whatever you have done, suppose if you are employing elsewhere, they will ask simply questions on that only. I mean, it is very sorry affair that they were unable to answer simple questions. What are the off-balance sheet items? Where bank can do it? What will be the role of cost accountant in bank? Can we help you out? How you can best help to the bank? Do you know the credit appraisal? I mean, these questions were also unfortunately unanswered. Now there are a lot of areas. I am telling you, in bank now, apart from the credit appraisal, bank has got the planning department separate where budgeting is also done. Every time budgeting is done, then new product when it is introduced in the market, note is prepared. Now if you are fresher, nobody is going to tell you like you do it immediately. You have got some base data available over there in the bank. You will have to go through that data. You will come to know that this can be the way. But more age over with other officers, that as a cost accountant, what contribution you can give more. And that will definitely pay you in long run. Same is the case with account department. Because they are deciding the rate of interest. How much margin bank has to put, how much leeway is available, what is my cost of deposit, then what will be my net margin, net interest margin, everything will be available over there. Now if I am discussing on these areas, huge this one areas are there. Now risk-based supervision is there. Now risk management is a separate department for the bank. There also cost accountants are required. Credit monitoring, another area where also cost accountants are required. Bank has started, almost all banks they have started another separate department which is called as alternate business channel, where all the other new products like insurance product, various products they are introducing in the market, but that entire exercise has been done by alternate business channel. No, scope is available provided if you are willing to do something. And it is possible practicing CMA again and again. I am repeating because lot of things are available over there. Why you are not looking at that? What is credit report? Any practicing professional, whether you are first taking out credit report of the borrower, credit rating, at least that is big mirror for you, that whether he has availed any loan from any other company, any private banking, whether he has done anything. Some mirror it will be available for you. Clue you will get it. Same is the concern about whether he is banking with other banks. Now they are very shrewd. Everything they will never disclose it to the cost accountant or even chartered accountants also. They also realize it in later stage. Sir, I was not aware that he has opened an account over there. Because once my bank is doing this exercise that I will not allow you in the overdraft, he will start depositing checks with some other bank by opening current account. If this is the case, then what monitoring you will do? So you should know your customer first, then it is practically possible for you to detect data. Then as practicing CMA, another area will be go to the profit and loss account of the borrower. 3 areas you will find. One is interest, another one is commission. Now again interest there will be 2 parts. One is interest on bank money and interest to others. Now if you will analyze, you will come to know that how much interest has been paid by the borrower. Now, anybody has done this exercise, practicing CMAs, I am telling you, you ask the bank that whatever credit rating they are doing, they should disclose it to you. There is no rule that it should not be disclosed to the consultant or borrower also. The reason is, bank is doing some rating. They are giving marks like exam, out of 5, 3, out of 5, 2. And there is a lot of scope for the borrower to improve. For example, submission of statement. Even in 1 month here, delayed by 1 or 2 months, bank will comfortably say out of 5, 4. Current ratio not maintained properly. Interest servicing not done within 7 days. Now these are the areas. Is it possible that we can control it? We can further reduce the rate of interest. Our aim should be that borrower should give less interest to the bank because his profitability will improve. Ultimate aim is that his profitability should improve. Now how he will improve? Only because of this. Now if his rating is good, then as a professional, if at all he is utilizing the facility of cash this one LC as well as bank guarantee, at least start with the negotiations with the bank, give us at least 10%, 25% less commission than the normal charge to the borrowers. If your all parameters are positive, banks will look at it in a different way. Definitely it will be considered. It's not like that totally it is bad that it will not be given. These are the areas over there. Now another area I am telling you, professionals are also lacking in that area. As far as letter of credit facility is concerned, assessment is not done. And assessment is unfortunately they are unaware of how to do it. Borrower is asking you, sir, मेरे को 50 लाख का LC चाहिए. And what for you want LC 50? What you are going to get with these 50 lakhs? Why not 40 lakhs? Why not 100 lakhs? Sir, it is very simple. Work out how much will be his total purchases. Divided it by 12, it will be your monthly purchases. Now, if he is importing the goods, there will be some transit time, say 1.5 months or 2 months. In addition to that, if at all he will be getting some credit 2 months, then total period will be 3.5 months. This monthly purchases multiplied by 3.5, it will be your LC limit. Bank will never deny. If at all you give this type of working, They will never deny for that. Same is the case for bank guarantee. Borrower is giving 100% deposit with the bank. Why? When you are regular customer of the bank, why you should invest your 100% funds in security deposit, in performance guarantee? When this is your regular business, it is possible. Did you ask the bank, okay, this is my regular business, I will be requiring performance guarantee. This guarantee will be required for 24 months. My total business for a current year will be this, next year will be this. So it is possible for me to achieve this level. So give me the bank guarantee with again margin 25%. Later on, you can reduce it further. It is quite possible. One more clue I am giving you to all practicing CMS. This I have done personally, that is why I am openly telling you, I was in Bombay. There was one timber merchant, he was importing timber. This is just an example of a timber, like that you can take any other goods over there. Problem with the borrower was that the terms of LC were DP, that is document against payment. Naturally, he was not having a single rupee over there. But all the goods were definitely, customers were available, and it could have been easily sold in the market. He was requesting me, sir, kaisa bhi karke de do, but when it is DP, either I will have to make LC forced or I will have to effect by some other ways. What I did, I am telling you, this is one of the ways you can convince to the bankers. Take a project loan for that. Do this exercise. Take a project loan for particular this one. Period may be hardly 3 to 4 months. You give the banks that this payment will be definitely done by this method. I have got this cash flow. And this loan will be definitely repaid within this period. Now this is some innovative, that is what we expect from professional. Standard traditional banking, you will never find these solutions over there. They will say, sir, it is not possible, don't approach us, we will not give you. So at least don't do that type of exercise over there. And another important thing is diversion of funds. When your customer, you are fully aware, please ensure that he is not diverting funds elsewhere. Discuss with him every now and then. If at all his requirement is there, come to the bank. Discuss with the bank, with the borrower. With the borrower, you come to the bank. This is the requirement. Instead of diverting the funds, I propose to have this type of facility over there. Is it possible? Bank will make some way out. Nowadays, TOD is not giving in the bank. They are either telling straight away give short-term loan, but that too also in rare cases. Nobody will give you easily short-term loan also. Because again, they ask the security, where is they available over there. Now, as I have told you, from traditional banking, banks are going towards security. But for good customers, even for SME customers, I am telling you that collateral security has been insisted upon hardly 25 to 40%, not more than that. Because your key parameters, performance parameters, if those are absolutely satisfactory, bank will not hesitate in considering that area. Because only thing is borrower, he doesn't have that knowledge to talk with the bankers. So you are the media, you are the professional over there, you will be in a better position to explain to the bankers that this is his requirement, that you do it. Another area I would like to tell as a professional to you, most of the cases, you get big order, your customer get big order over there. Now, regular facility has been sanctioned. For this particular order, he requires 5 months. Now, mind well, when this particular order we are telling, it means that his sales projections will be achieved by normal business, but this will be extraordinary business over there. On your own, you prepare cash flow for this particular order. Do it on cash flow basis. Show it to the bank. This is what an innovative area you will find. Where maximum deficit will be available, that will be his limit for that particular execution of that particular order. But what we are doing, we are mixing everything with CMA. Don't mix it with CMA. When you are doing particular project financing, that project financing is restricted to cash flow only. Not at all. Otherwise, it will have lot of impact on your other areas. Now, another important area which I feel that I should discuss with you, that as far as banking requirements are concerned, bank requires cost accountant in various areas. Again, I am repeating. But major requirement is in credit appraisal. Present scenario in banking, again I am repeating, it is worst. Officers, they do not have that quality work. They are totally dependent on professionals like you. 100% your utilization will be there in the bank. If you show such reports over there to the bank will call you. Okay, another customer is there. We would like to have entire proposal in this type of format only. And we are confident because you are doing this job successfully everywhere. I think there should not be any problem over there because practicing CMAs, they know it very well how it is to be done. Perhaps they may be facing problem, proposal nahi hota hai. Lot of problems are there. Honestly speaking, in some cases consideration has been called for. That is also there. But please prevent those practices. That is why I told you, your quality proposal, your quality appraisal, your quality projections with justification will compel them to sanction without giving a single rupee. Unfortunately, this culture has come in the banking industry. I am very open because I have faced it. Honestly speaking, last 2 years I have stopped this consultancy only because of this. Because I have got some principle. I will not pay a single rupee to you. And I will not tell my customer also to give it to you. My entire proposal is up to date. I am sure that everything is possible with this assessment. Then why should I pay you? This is unfortunate culture is there. I am telling you in Bombay, now another experience is there in Bombay. Bombay they are asking you after sanction, so आपको कितना देने का है? Give and take के सिवाय इधर कुछ चलता नहीं है. But when bank officer they are getting substantial salary, why we should pay them? Because they have been paid for their work. You are doing their 80% job by doing this exercise. At least you should have that courage to say no. I will go to some other bank. I will go definitely to some other bank, and I am confident another bank will consider my case. Housing loan, everything it will be available over there. Nowadays, housing loan also it is not like traditional method. How much is your salary multiplied by 60, multiplied by 50? It is not like that. Now the banks are asking how much is your requirement, how much is your salary, what will be your proposed requirement in this much, whether it is well within your remaining salary or your survival. If that installment is fall within that this one, definitely bank will say, okay fine, we will not consider it 1.5 crore, but we can give you 1.30. Like that, everywhere the products have been changed and everything, you will find that bank is also changing, but our approach should be professional. I think it is more clear on certain areas. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We are opening the forum for the question and answer session. If you have, please raise the hand if you have any questions.
sources from the professional who are signing the TV or project report?
No, no,
No requirement.
not at all.
Thank you.
Yeah, myself CMA Prakash Savle. My question is for the in discussion said the empanelment of CMA in Cosmos Bank. So when normally the period to get empaneled?
In a panel, that will be the panel only question. But as far as other banks are concerned, generally they are empaneling it for various purposes.
Yeah. So when we want to inquire about the requirement, so what is the source?
There will be some of the bank they have decentralized it. They have done it through regional office. Some of the bank they have done it at centralized, that is at head office only. So your CVs have to be sent over there only. Yeah.
I hope there are no questions now. And second session will be a panel discussion where we will be taking the another questions as well. So, thank you, sir, for providing such a beautiful knowledge. I would say the various rules and opportunities you have provided here, guided to us. Not only theoretical, it is very well backed up by the practical examples. So once again, thank you. I just announced that the first technical session is over here. Thank you. May I now request Mr. Vivek Inamdar sir, who is the AGM. He will be presenting the Cosmos Bank product. And before that, let me, Nilesh sir, we want to felicitate him. So please come on as Nilesh Kekan, CMA Nilesh Kekan, Chairman of Pune Chapter of Cost Accountants. May I request him to felicitate Mr. Vivek Inamdar sir. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Vivek Inamdar, agent Cosmos Bank. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Cosmos Bank, a complete financial institution with a rich history and strong foundation in cooperative banking. Cosmos Bank has 118 years legacy with 170 branches across 7 states, namely Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Gujarat, Tamil Nadu, and we are serving more than 18 lakh satisfied customers. Cosmos Bank, established on 18 January 1906 by late Sri Parveji and late Sri Guruji. And first chairman of Cosmos Bank was N.C. Kelkar, popularly known as Sahitya Samrat. Cosmos Bank has developed gradually from a humble cooperative credit society to become second largest cooperative bank in India. Let us take a look at some of the milestones and achievements of our journey. In 1928, Cosmos converted into full-fledged bank. We achieved scheduled bank status in 1990 and multi-state scheduled bank status in 1997. We pioneered technological advancement adopting core banking solution like Finacle in 2003. In 2006, got authorized dealership license to deal in forex business independently. Over the years, we have introduced various digital services, including e-banking in 2007, internet banking in 2013, mobile banking in 2013, offering seamless banking experience to customers. We have launched financial inclusion in 2012 to cater service to the self-help group. The state-of-art Cosmos Tower started functioning in 2014 along with full-fledged currency chest, and we are the first cooperative bank to have its own currency chest. Over the past decade, the Cosmos has made continual progress and has set a model example for cooperative banks by its professional working and balancing tradition with technology for a bright future. In terms of financial achievement, as on 31st March 2024, Cosmos Bank achieved business setup of rupees 35,408 crores with rupees 20,216 crore deposits and 15,192 crores in loans. And our net profit was rupees 384 crores, showing financial growth and profitability. Our bank has always been committed to fostering customer-centric values, promoting teamwork, operational efficiency with advanced technology. This is possible only because of visionary board of directors, dynamic leadership, and motivated staff ensuring personalized service with trust. Beyond our banking services and commitment to the corporate governance and professional integrity and regular compliance, what truly set Cosmos Bank apart are our values, such as customer centricity, continuous learning, technology sensitivity, ethics, transparency, teamwork, operational efficiency, and people empowerment. These values are also reflected in the 18 cooperative banks we have acquired over the years, further strengthening our business network and outreach. We take pride in providing products that cater to every segment of the society with attractive and competitive rate of interest. Home loan starting at 7.95%, car loan at 7.90%, education loan at 8.25%, Cosmo Udyog loan for working capital needs of small entrepreneur at 8% onward, Cosmos small business loan in term loan facility for small entrepreneurs at 9% onward. We have property mortgage loan at 9.75% and Cosmo merchant for traders at 9% onwards. In addition to that, we have tailor-made financial solution for covering various industries like SME, MSME, trading, service, real estate, health sector, solar, sugar, infrastructure, automobile, IT, pharmaceutical, ENT, textile, and steel. In addition to that, recently bank has launched Cosmo Utsav deposit scheme for 15 months tenure, offering 7.50% rate of interest to general customer, NRE, institution including non-scheduled UCBs, and 8% for senior citizen. We continue to enhance our services with advanced digital solutions like WhatsApp banking, NEFT, RTGS, IMPS, UPI, ensuring a secure, easy and accessible banking for all the customers through digital platforms. Cosmos Bank, a financial institution and a trusted partner that has been serving generation of the customers with dedication and excellence. We look forward to continuing this legacy and delivering value to all our customers, members in the years to come. Thank you. once again for your time and consideration. We look forward to welcoming you as valued members in Cosmos family for growth and success together. Together, we can achieve great things and enrich our lives. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, we will quickly start our second technical session, which is a panel discussion. It is going to be for 25 minutes to 30 minutes. We are going to have the panelists. So I request all dignitary panelists to be on the dais. I request Aarti Dhole Madam, CA Jayanta Barve sir, CMA Shripad Bedarkar sir, and CMA Jagdish Moge sir to kindly be on the dais. We have for panel discussion Aarti Dhole Madam. I will quickly introduce her. I request our chairman CMA Nilesh Kekan sir to facilitate as well. Aarti Dhole Madam, she is a visionary technocrat having 28 years over experience in alternate channel payment system and core banking system. She is skilled in architecting products, database management, performance tuning, project management, contract negotiation and IT budgeting. She was a former managing director and CEO of the Cosmos E-Solutions Private Limited and since 2024 acting as a joint management director of bank. Bank has been decorated many IT and technology awards under her leadership. I request Amaya Tigle sir to kindly felicitate. Yeah, and she is also a cost accountant, though it was not there. Our second panelist is CA Jayanta Barve sir. He is currently director Cosmos Cooperative Bank Limited. Sir is having experience more than 35 years in the field. He has a vast experience in accounting, costing and field of manufacturing as well as service industry. And he is connected with the major cooperative banks on account or basis. He is expert in credit portfolio. In the Cosmos, he is a member of various prominent board of committees. I request CMA Nilesh Kekan sir to kindly felicitate CA Jayanta Barve sir. Our third panelist is CMA Shripad Bedarkar sir. He is having 25 years of experience, 10 years of teaching experience. He is also from banking profession as well, and he has successfully as a chairman of the WMTP and regularly connect point for banking and GST purpose as well. He is a practicing cost accountant. I request CMA Dave sir to kindly felicitate CMA Bedarkar sir. Our last the panelist is CA Jagdish Moge sir. He is an MCOM CMA and CS executive. He is associate member of our institute. He scored 92nd ranked in the intermediate level. He is currently working as a manager finance accounts Elance Beck India Private Limited. Previously worked as assistant manager in controlling at KSPG Automotive. He is having
11 years plus experience and in the areas of indirect tax and currently mainly in treasury and banking. I request our member CMA Bhushan Rane to kindly felicitate CMA Jagdish Moge sir. Thank you. From Cosmos Bank also, they are going to do the felicitation to CMA Shripad Bedarkar sir. I request dignitaries to kindly Moge sir to felicitate Shripad Bedarkar sir. I request sir to felicitate CMA Jagdish Moge sir as well. Jagdish Moge. Yeah, Kakade sir, please. Thank you, sir. We will quickly start the panel discussion. I will start with CMA Bedarkar, sir, as a professional already working in the bank and now in the practice. I have a quick question to you that what was the thought when you actually decided to be in practice? And immediate follow-up question is that when any practicing cost accountant like me or any newly qualified, if he wish to give services to this bank, then what do you think the readiness should be there in his mind when he's going to give services to the bank?
Firstly, I want to thank the Pune chapter of Cost Accountant, my own institute, other institute, and also Cosmos Bank for this opportunity. After qualification, I have decided to join the bank as I think it is more challenging to join the bank rather than joining industry. So I joined the bank, gained some experience for 12 plus years. And having little bit experience, I am not saying that I have acquired much experience because the seniors and fellow members having 30 or 40 plus years experience are here. So I am not claiming that. But after acquiring 12 plus year experience and what knowledge I gained while pursuing the CMA, I have decided to start my own practice because it was my original dream from college days, start own practice. So having sufficient knowledge, I have decided to explore the possibilities and enter more banks and provide them better services because very few cost accountants are there which are in the practice, particularly in banking or financial sectors. There are cost accountants in service in financial sector, but very few are there in practice. So I have decided to join the practice after gaining experience.
And then connected question that what readiness you feel that cost accountant should be?
Yeah, it is just normally whenever we start any assignments regarding any particular industry, we have to understand the business nature of that particular business, the working style, even the peculiarities of the transactions and everything. Even in banking sector, there are 3 types of banks: nationalized banks, cooperative and private sector bank. Although banking is the same, but working style of each bank is different. So we need to gain the knowledge about the working style of the bank, internal workings, and allied laws, basically governing laws, like RBI, BR Act, Banking Regulation Act. When we think of cooperative sector, MSC Act, like that, and allied laws like Negotiable Instrument Act, various master circulars issued from the Reserve Bank of India. Surface Act, Contract Act, Partnership and Company. That this process are normally when we take the assignments, even for cost audit, we follow the same practice. We gain the knowledge, feel of that particular sector, and then take the assignments. Similarly, the banking sector, we need to feel the banking transactions, overall atmosphere, how they work, what are the type of decisions they make while sanctioning the advances, or what product they are offering. So we need to understand that before taking an assignment.
I move forward to CMA Moge sir, that as far as the practicing cost accountant is concerned, if a practicing cost accountant wish to give any services to a private companies in the areas of treasury or project financing, so what exactly we can provide a service, so you can throw a light.
At the outset, I would like to thank Pune chapter of Cost Accountants and the Cosmos Bank for arranging this wonderful seminar and also inviting me as a panel member. It's truly an honor for me to be present here alongside the esteemed guests and fellow professionals. Now, CMAs can act mainly in a treasury function. The CMAs can formulate a strategy and investment policy, evaluate various options that are available like debt, equity, bank equities, corporate equities, evaluate the risk involved in each of the product, then prepare a cost impact analysis, interaction with fund managers, monitoring and tracking of performance, etc.
Moving forward, I have a question to Arati Roy madam. That as a cost accountant, once he qualified, as in the previous session we have seen that there are aspirant cost accountants who wish to join bank as well, and also there are cost accountants who plans to join the bank. So at outset, what do you feel that as a cost accountant, what the bank are expecting when they are coming as an employee, or if he is coming as a professional for providing services? And a follow-up question to that, can you highlight some of the areas where you feel that cost accountant are key contributor factor?
Thanks for this opportunity to the Institute. I will like to introduce what are the competencies that particular cost accountant should have when he is appearing for any banking interview. So apart from the cost consultancy knowledge, he also has to have the information about the banking and financial regulations. So he should be aware of all the regulatory authorities like RBI, then NPCI. Apart from that, what type of banking products are there? Corporate banking, retail banking. How? What are the guidelines of KYC, AML policies, and how the bank are actually every day faces the risk, mitigate them. What is the liquidity that they have to maintain, or how they are ensuring that the capital adequacy is maintained through the vessel norms, and accordingly they mitigate the risk. Also, he should know about the technical knowledge, latest technology which has been adopted in the banks. The other aspects like optimization of the risk and other regulatory and compliances which a bank has to follow while dealing with the regulatory authorities. So along with the cost knowledge, if he has all these banking competencies, it will be helpful to appear for the interview and get the better chances for positioning in the banks. As you mentioned the second part of it, I will explain. So there are a lot of areas where we can see how the cost accountant is adding. So when we see that any budgeting or forecasting is required, financial performance forecasting is required, there is a chance that he may add some value additions into that. Then we can see that internal audits where the cost accountant always add value. treasury management as or the asset liability management, where we think about the IRR management or cost of funds. So these are the areas where the key areas where he can value added. Apart from that, if there is a strategic planning, like if we are going for any new niche market, any product launching, as explained by Mr. Thakar sir, or if there is any technology investment which is requiring high cost, in that also the strategic planning where the cost accountant can always value add. So these are some of the areas. There are also a lot of areas, but to highlight, I have specially covered these areas where right now there are opportunities for the cost accountant.
Just a follow-up to that, since you have already given few of the areas, just want to understand, can you just let us know that how these services of a cost accountant or any experience you had that a cost accountant has provided this service, and then how efficiently that has helped the bank also, if any specific experiences you could share.
I think in the front of us I am saying our CRO. He's also cost accountant. As explained by Thakar sir, the credit appraisal is actually a very niche area where the cost accountants have added the value. So he is there to add the risk part of it, also is seen by him. And we have our CFO, Archana Doshi madam, who is also into the finance planning and budgeting, where we have her experience has proven very helpful for us. And nonetheless, we are talking about our chairman sir. He is into the strategic planning, formulation of policies, and of course leadership. So he has taken this bank to the new height of 35,000 crore, and this is I can say these are the real lifetime examples. Again, I was into the IT earlier, and while evaluating the different technology aspects, or by going for any new technologies, where I have to work out whether the bank is actually looking for the ROI, whether I should be investing into that technology or I should not be investing. So my thought process, as it is a cost accountant based thought process, so I can take that decision with I can say with wise decision I can take, and that has helped the organization also when we are going into the new technology initiative. So these are 4-5 examples. Our internal audits are also looked after by Mona Kulkarni. She is also cost accountant. Now she is moved to the regional head area, but her expertise also adding to the how we can optimize the processes, how we can cost effectively provide or deliver the services to the customer. There we are always looking with that angle only.
Before we go, I must say that with your words, I got one more reason to be proud to be a cost accountant.
Thank you.
Moving towards Bedarkar sir, since you are providing, you were there in the bank, as well as now you are providing, one of your area is to serving to the banks. So if you could give few areas, highlight where you can say that how this empanelment is happening in few of the banks. So can you share the experience on that, and also overall when you are providing services, what is your overall experience? So that will really help a cost accountant like me who wish to have this area as one of the practicing area.
Firstly, I will come to your second question. My overall experience with the bank is very much satisfactory and encouraging. We really get 100% cooperation from banking staff. I also do cost audit and I also do bank audit, but my experience with the bank is more better than industry. So I bluntly claim this, but not on banking platform, but it is the real fact. There are actually, banking people are more interested with our reports, our findings, our suggestions and value additions. So there are ample scope for cost accountant to work with the bank, and it is a really challenging field, and evolving field. So we need to focus, and actually banking is a backbone of financial system, so we need to focus on that. And regarding empanelment, normally banks give their advertisement or call the tenders or offers. So we need to approach accordingly, or we can individually approach to the head office of the banks and submit our proposal for the empanelment.
Thank you, sir. Mukesh sir, just quickly, since you are working in the private sector, so as far as the providing this helping to the organization in the domain of finance and project financing, so there are certain cost accountants who are newly qualified and they are just approached for the pre-placement orientation. So one of the questions from them that when the cost accountant is working in the domain of project financing or treasury management, so what you would like to give them as your experience, how you feel that area for providing in employment as such?
So my overall experience in project financing has been really good. I got to learn a lot of new things. When you think of cost accountant, the typical rule that comes to mind is calculation of cost, then capacity calculation, doing the monthly closing inventory valuation. But in project financing and especially in treasury, there is a huge scope for cost accountants. They really can add value in this function, unless the most important thing is you need to have interest and willingness to learn new things.
Moving to the director, Jayant Badal sir, since I have understood from your CV as well that you are already part of various committees.
Yes.
So, so being a part of various committees of board, what is your expectation from CMAs as a committee member and director of the bank?
Well, there are so many aspects involved in this. Firstly, you should be updated. Knowledge updation is a must. Secondly, your work should be going to do some value addition in the working procedures which are laid down in the bank. Thirdly, I think nowadays most important is digitalization. As one of your CMA member here said, she is not a IT person basically, but let me tell you honestly, she is the IT head of her bank. And now she is the joint managing director. The reason I am telling you this is that cost accountancy, if you limit your knowledge to that only, that means working various costing formulas and all. But then if you expand or add some other qualification to your knowledge, like say, as he has done IT, then Mukesh sir said just now that we are now interested in doing project financing. Actually, cost accountancy and chartered accountancy, the syllabus is not different, but then your thirst is more on the costing side than the accounting side. Whereas we are, as a chartered accountant, involved in various things. I'll give you my example. While in practice, I did service for 10 years, and then for around 30-35 years I was in practice. Now, during my tenure as a serviceman, I was mainly involved in internal audit. After my service period, tenure, I concentrated more on tax. And in taxation, I was after my service, I started my practice. In practice, I got all sorts of businesses. For example, I was associated with an Ayurvedic company for working for costing or rather product costing to be submitted to FDA. Now that was not my forte, but then sitting and the Ayurvedic field is such a dicey field that you need to be very alert while doing the costing. Again, that doesn't mean I was away from my chartered accountancy practice.
I was mainly involved in project financing. So both the things, to sum up, I need to tell you, as Thakar sir said in his speech, that you should be practical. You should know everything. When the client comes to you, you only should teach him as a doctor that look, if you want to go in for finance from bank or some any financial institution, you need to take him as your partner. And when he is your partner, you should disclose all the necessary facts. And then partner will tell you, the other part will tell you, no, this is risky. You need to pump your funds, or you need to keep your capital intact. Likewise, in today's scenario, when I joined this bank 5 years back, I was not having this experience of a controlling person in the board of directors. But basically, I was from credit and part of costing. Your CMAs are more nowadays, day by day, they are involved in this updating of their knowledge. So I request everybody to be updated, and definitely banking sector is very much interesting for CMA fellows also.
Just to add that one, just technical question with respect to the Section 10A of Banking Regulation Act 1949, which emphasizes on presence of a professional on the board of the bank, being a professional and as well as the board member. So just a question that how will you highlight the importance of this section in the context of today's scenario that as a role of cost accountant?
I will not say cost accountant or a chartered accountant. I will say a professional. Now, first of all, when you say a professional, he must have these three qualities. Promptness in answering the question, then updating your knowledge, and third and most important, you should be thorough in your subject. Like a cost accountant, as I explained, he should be thorough in minimizing the cost or discussing or finalizing any tenders. If you are if you are in conversation with a vendor for purchase of some IT products, you can leave the technical part to the IT person, but as far as the pricing or financial part is there, you are aware of the market conditions. So what is important also is that you should have perfect market knowledge so that you can bargain with the vendor and you can get the material what you want at the cheapest, or if not cheapest, the best cheap price.
Since I am also a secretary to the Pune chapter, very important question from our student side as well.
Yes.
We have, since has been discussed, so we have the articleship. So we just want to understand that in case the articleships are there, so what could be the thoughts of the bank, how it can be done?
Earlier when I passed out and when I was an article, that was way back 30, 40 years back. I'll not compare that with today's scenario. But then now I have learned that Chartered Accountant Institute has formulated a policy that whoever wants to go in for practice after passing out his Chartered Accountancy final exam, he has to undergo a 1-year apprenticeship with any industrial or other institute. Likewise, I request you and the committee members to plead with your institute for starting such thing, number one. Number two, those fresh cost accountants, as my chairman has reiterated, that we are very much interested to recruit CMAs also, and we will be approaching your institute if they allow us, that put our name, the Cosmos Cooperative Bank, as an institute which can take the fresh cost accountants or even would-be cost accountants in our service.
our mail, if it is there with you as an empanel, then you can send your people to us, surely.
Thank you very much, because we have the facility where 15 months articleship is there, and from banking also it can be done.
Yes.
So we will definitely approach once this is over, and we will be, our students will be very happy
100%.
to be a part of it.
Sure.
To continue with, as a cost accountant, Vedarkar sir, I wish to ask that though I individually not directly work in this area, but I know there are certain areas normally are aware that where the cost accountant can actually provide the services, and there is a possibility that empanelment is there. But sometimes we understand that cost accountants are not assigned for that work, or that remains some executive. So can you throw a light that which are the areas where cost accountants actually are eligible for those assignment, and you feel it is niche or some problems there? So
actually, there are various areas which we can explore, and I personally explore various areas like concurrent audit, stock audit, credit monitoring, credit audit, and like that, even for some certifications. But in few banks, certification got some issues, because they not get accepted. It is one of the issue. And another thing is statutory audit under MCS Act, which I personally not explore it, and many cost accountants are not there in that field. So that area remains untouched for us.
but it is, we are very much allowed to that.
Yes, it is allowed.
It is allowed, and also certifications are also there, which we can sign. But you are saying there are certain
few banks.
Okay, just
particularly private banks. Nationalized and cooperative banks accept our certification. Private banks deny that.
Considering the current changes in the IT, this AI and BI tools, so as a practicing cost accountant, what do you feel that when I am doing audit or providing any services to the bank, so do you feel that this all AI and BI tool, how I should be looking at it when I am providing services to the bank?
See, change is the only constant thing. Technology keeps changing. Before 1990, there were banks are working on manual basis. Later on, they shifted to computerization. Even after 2000, they came with core banking facility, and even technology is upgraded. Now AI, BI, and all that, ChatGPT and everything is coming. It is actually helpful to the professionals. We need to use all these tools to provide better and faster services to the bank. So we have to explore the possibilities for that also.
And also I would like to add here, when you say BI tool, it helps in performing complex calculations, and it also can be used for simulation analysis. If my project cost gets increased by 10%, what will be the impact on overall project payback period, etc.? And ultimately, what is the impact on my profitability? So with the help of BI, we can do this scenario analysis, multiple scenario analysis, case studies. So it is very much useful.
Yes, because in CMA data, sensitivity analysis we do. But what we rightly pointed out, it takes too much time when we work it on Excel. If we take the help of AI or BI, it will be much helpful or time saving technique.
Just to add on that, considering that rise of digital banking and technology adoption, from bank side, how you see that how the role of cost accountant is evolving, because everything is happening to be digital. So what do you feel that in this scenario, how the cost accountant will help?
I think now the physical cost structure is moving to the digital. So when the banks are increasingly going for the digital platform, so there is a shift in the cost structure from physical to digital. So it's evolving, and now when mobile banking, internet banking, and e-banking is taken over, so I can say that the focus of the cost structure or cost accountant has been shifted, and the more focus is on now the IT or infrastructure part or digital security. And other customer service, digital customer service delivery. So this shift has been done. Now also because of the digital products like AI, ML, which right now we are discussing. So the technology, as the technology evolves, the cost accountant has to take he has to learn this technology and use it effectively to arrive at the cost effectively. So this shift is also we have to adopt this cost as a cost accountant or as a cost consultant. We have to adopt. And thirdly, these organizations, banks are now data driven. So it is not possible. A large volume of data is being handled by the bank. So it is not possible that they track the data manually. So we have to use those tools, which are right now we are discussing BI tools or AI tools, and use those tools effectively so that the cost accountant or the efficiency is been derived through this tool. So this is a shift from the physical to digital, and every cost accountant has to, as Parvesh said, everybody has to shift his focus from from the physical to digital.
As far as the private sector is concerned, so what is the project finance and what are the activities is required, or whenever there is a project is to be there and to be financed. So generally, what is your experience that when a private sector is going to the bank and asking for any project loan, so what are the documents normally they are asking for? Because if as a practicing cost accountant I wish to help, so from private sector side when you are going, so normally what documents they are seeing, and a immediate follow-up question, what are the factors normally they are evaluating? So can you throw a light on that as well?
It's a very valid question. So project finance can be explained in a single sentence as long-term debt financing of a specific project. It is essentially a capital-intensive project which involves huge amounts of money, maybe in crores. Infrastructure project, road development, and construction of airports or metro. These are the common examples where project financing is required. In corporates and especially manufacturing sector, new plant setup, upgradation of new technology, expansion plans, then acquisition of a new business or asset, then construction of a warehouse or a new building. These are few examples where project financing is required. Now coming to the point that what are the documents required. First and foremost, the most important document is detailed project report. It needs to be prepared considering every minute aspect of the project. Then obtaining environmental clearances from the pollution control bodies and other clearances from the government agencies and local authorities. Also, we need to evaluate or prepare an impact of environmental and social impact analysis with the introduction of BRSR, that is Business Responsibility and Sustainability Reporting to the top 1,000 companies in India, and emergence of ESG. We need to evaluate overall negative impact of the project on environmental and society at large. Other documents will be the project cash flows. Then bank will also ask for recent financial statement for past 3 to 5 years. Then list of assets, list of charges if there are existing charges. Then other legal documents like certificate of incorporation or registration certificate. Then a copy of memorandum of association which provides for the objects of the company, which gives an idea that object of the project is in line with the overall objectives of the company. Then the copy of articles of association. Articles are basically rules and regulations and bylaws which provide the borrowing powers. So it gives an assurance that the company has sufficient borrowing capacity. And other documents like copy of TANTS, GST certificate, then in case of MSME, the Udyam Aadhaar number, ITR copies and bank statements. Now, if you ask me what are the key factors, basically the project cost and contingency. There might be a case that due to changes in construction material or any change in GST rates, or in case of imported plant and equipment, the increase in custom duty or other import duties due to changes in budget. So it will have impact, a significant impact in overall cost. So there has to be a provision of contingency. Then the bank will also evaluate the projected cash flow, what are the assumptions behind the cash flow. They will also perform various ratio analysis like profitability ratio, or net profit ratio or operating margin, then return on equity, return on capital employed, etc. They will also evaluate liquidity ratios like current ratio, then cash ratio, working capital ratio, working capital and days, and financial ratio like debt equity ratio, what is the MI interest service ratio, debt service ratio, which ultimately help our guides as in deciding the repayment schedule.
Thank you. Thank you. So, just we are at close of this panel discussion. Before we conclude it, I really wish to understand that after working in the bank and then providing services to the banking sector, a practicing professional who wish to provide services to the bank. So, can you overall give any suggestion that what he should be taking care when he is planning to provide or work in the specifically in the banking sector?
Actually, working with the bank is really challenging and interesting task. We can use our cost accounting and management accounting knowledge for the bank and help them to become a stronger player in that. So we have very much areas like we explore our knowledge in concurrent audit, in credit assessment, credit monitoring. I just share my experience of credit monitoring. One of the largest bank given me assignment for credit monitoring of their borderline accounts, high value accounts, for 1 year. Few accounts, just trial basis, whether it will be work. And 90% accounts are turned to be standard and they revive properly. Only unintended, specifically the promoter with the ill will have become bad. Otherwise, they have turned up. So we can because we have industry knowledge and we can help even not only bank but the company to revive, help them in controlling the cost and everything, which will ultimately help to increase the bottom line and improve the repayments of the bank. So there are quite possibilities for us to work in this field. So I really urge all the cost accountants to explore this new area.
Thank you. Similarly, in the working professional as well. So there are cost accountants who are just passed on. So what do you feel that how they should approach as this particular domain in the private sector? So would you like to give suggestion to those aspiring cost accountants who wish to work in the private sector in this particular domain?
I would say first we have a learning approach, open-minded approach, so that you can grasp everything. Many times I have observed that people are more after the salary and they are just doing the regular activities. They don't want to go for new challenges in their life. So first of all, give them an open mind and go for the new things rather than following a standard mechanism.
Thank you very much. Lastly, I also wish to ask Jain Barve sir that a cost accountant providing any services or joining as a bank. So would you like to give overall suggestion to a cost accountant when he is approaching maybe as a professional or providing services or joining to the banks?
Well, definitely, cost accountants are also important for a bank, provided, as Minarkar sir rightly said, you have to understand and know the requirements of a bank. Basically, with a competitive scenario, every bank wants to improve their bottom line. Now, from improving the bottom line, either you reduce your cost or you improve your savings or sales in case of a private company. In case of a bank, there are n number of areas where cost accounts can be handily useful. One, they can definitely focus on the credit appraisal because they are very well versed with the financial aspect also, with ratio analysis and fund flow, cash flow management. Secondly, audit, where they need to find out that if in a particular branch where for 10 months there is no business of housing loans, and suddenly in the 11th month you get around 50 plus files for housing loan, and all of a sudden how that has gone up. As an auditor, if he is able to, and as a cost conscious person, if he is able to see that I need to check the abrupt movements either in sales or in expenses, he will be in a better position to tell the management through, we have got firewalls, I can say, as far as in IT jargon, that they are the stoppers, committees. Various committees are there in our banks. Say fraud committee, credit appraisal committee, then audit committee. There you are having the scope to tell the management or the top bosses that look, here in particular region or branch, there are certain flaws, we need to plug them. That is the most important. And I mean, I can say safely that CMAs are also their management and cost, both the accountants. So they can very well look into the management functioning of that particular bank. And they'll be very much useful in coming years. But I'll add here again what I said in my remarks, opening, that they need not only their cost accountants, they're happy. No. In this scenario, they need to be multifaceted. As we say in cricket, you need to be an all-rounder, not necessarily a batsman or a bowler. Similarly, in today's field, if you see many people, my chairman, I'll give another excellent example. He passed out his chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, MBA finance, and I think journalism also. I mean, this is how you can go to any level. Sky is the limit for you to expand your boundaries, and you can guide or advise properly. And of course, once you are going in that way, you will definitely succeed in your goals. So I definitely again give advice to all my CMA friends or professionals that definitely there are various opportunities in banks, provided you approach to them. We will definitely come forward and empanel our bank's name also. But then you have to come forward and say yes. Don't keep, in the initial sale, as Vedakar said, don't keep, or rather Mogesar said, that don't give only the salary as a constraint on your, or rather the criteria for selecting a job. In the initial stages, you may not get high salary, but then in the long term, you will be definitely a successful person if you apply these 4 or 5 things. You can be the best judge in that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to sum up what I have actually understood, though I am a pure tax guy, but from their discussion I can definitely understood that this is definitely one of the best area where a cost accountant can add a good value not only to the bank but to the industry as well, by if any loss-making unit is there, with our basic principles of costing, we can definitely revive that particular NPA account or a loss-making unit. Also, I could able to digest that a cost accountant can be very much successful in the IT area of banking, because that is something I really understood that definitely a cost accountant can add good value. And as far as the private sector, where the money is very much an important thing, a cost accountant working in a private sector can really help in bringing money, timely money, and as well as helping to the businesses to bring the cash flow that really will help.
I would also like to add here, we also need to understand or evaluate what happens when the project is completed or the project financing process is completed. We need to evaluate whether the timelines were met or whether there was delays. Then is there any deviation against the budget? then whether there are any cost savings. Also evaluate whether the general accounting and costing treatments are done as per company policy and the general guidelines or cost accounting standards. Also, the CMA in practice can be appointed as a third-party auditor to evaluate the entire project financing and project management, especially for infrastructure projects which involve huge amounts of money, and there is a possibility of misappropriation of funds, or some points maybe get overlooked due to an oversight. So it is really, we need to deliberate on this area, I feel.
Thank you very much. At outset from Institute of Cost Accountants of India and along with the Cosmos Bank, I am really thankful and grateful for all panelists for giving the insight on various topics. And I am sure that all the practicing as well as the aspirant cost accountant will definitely add a new area where we can explore banking as a sector. Now I request CMA Dave sir to give a formal vote of thanks of today's session.
So good evening all. So it's the most difficult part which is given to me. So like Kale sir in starting mentioned, I like this statement, behind every successful business decision there is always a CMA. So there are few people who are behind this today's program. So I would like to call them up on the stage, please. So firstly, Prashant Pushkar Wadekar, please be on the stage. CMA Neha Upasni and CMA Mukta Marathe and CMA Priyanka, please be on the stage. So we would like to felicitate them for the efforts they have taken over here for this whole program. So I request Nilesh Kekan sir to please be on the stage and felicitate them. So they have been continuously following up for this program, and to make this success to be over here, they have taken a lot of efforts over here. So thank you very much. Thank you all. And including there is the admin staff also, we would like to thank from Cosmos Bank who have taken all the efforts over here. So as we end the program, we are coming to the end of the program, but I would just like to summarize what Keshav sir also mentioned, the importance of training, and this facility is being equipped for this training, especially from Cosmos Bank. So it's a good initiative taken from Cosmos Bank, and like Keshav sir said, this facility is specially for training, and it is a very important point where we need to take the training. And the credit appraisal part for CMAs, which is and take away from here, I would say. And a lot of other insights were given from the panelists and other technical sessions also. So like Aarti madam specially mentioned, the competencies of banking sector and information, to how to update, and the latest technology we need to update, and also the compliance forecasting part. So it was really insightful, and which we can definitely deliver to the banks and institute. And also like Barves has mentioned, the knowledge updation and value addition, which we need to do. So like all CMAs, actually we need to do the value addition. That's what we are supposed to do, right? It's not the normal thing we are going to give to the banks. So if there is some value addition, they will definitely take you as the partner or for the project. So the quality of CMAs we need to improve according to the expectations, I would say. So with that, just takeaways. I would like to really thank Milind Kale sir for giving this opportunity over here, and Yashwant Kasar sir also. Sir. Director of Cosmos, Prahlad Sir, Managing Director, Apeksha Madam, Sachin Apte Sir, Nandakumar, Professor Nandakumar Sir, and Mr. Praveen Gandhi Sir from that, and also Milind Sir and Rohit Joshi Sir from Cosmos Bank. We really thank you for giving these opportunities for this. And we really thank the panelists over here, Jen Barve Sir, Aarti Madam, Shripad Sir, CMA Shripad Sir, and CMA Moge Sir. Thank you for this. And with this, we also like to thank all certain members like Neeraj Joshi Sir. They have already left for some other commitments and meeting. So they were here for this special meeting, and all the dignitaries and CMA members and Cosmos team over here. We really thank you. We will thank Nilesh Kekan Sir also, Chairman of Pune chapter, past President Amit Apte Sir for being here, past President of CMA, and Chaitanya Mori Sir for being here. So with that, we concluding session. I would like to just we can request you all to stand up for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल जय जय हे भारत माता की जय।
So there is a dinner on the 4th floor. Very important topic.